Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and iOS 12 is probably only a few months away from us being able to see what's going to be in it. Usually Apple has WWDC, or the Worldwide Developer Conference, in June, and they show off what the next version of iOS is going to be like. Now that next version probably will be shown in June and then be released in September if they continue to follow the current pattern. Now they have decided to change it up a little bit, and the last very reliable iOS release that most remember is iOS 6.1.3 or iOS 6. This is on a 4S, so obviously we're not going to see this, but Apple is focusing more on reliability and stability, as it seems this version and iOS 10 seem to have much better reliability, or at least a lot of people think so anyway. Now, iOS 12 originally was thought to have a bunch of new features, but it seems that Apple's going to pull that back and focus on fixing bugs and leaving out some features so that they can make the OS more stable overall. Now, a lot of people love this idea, some people hate it, but it's what they've done with Mac OS year after year. So quite some time ago, OS 10 Leopard came out, and then they would refine it with Snow Leopard. They continue to do that right now with things like Sierra and High Sierra. Those sort of things, they bring out refinements, and they keep refining Mac OS, and it still needs work, but they're going to do that with iOS. So let's talk about what they're going to do. So they're going to probably put iOS on a 2-year cycle like that. So 1 year will be less features, but more stability. The next year will be more features, so we might see all sorts of new things. However, that doesn't mean they're going to get rid of bringing any features whatsoever. So this year we expect changes to animoji, and that's obviously only going to be on devices with the Face ID cameras. So with animoji, like we have here, we have the lion, and instead of just having animoji that we have, we'll have new animoji. We'll also supposedly have a better menu for it. So maybe there'll be a bunch, there'll be some new features, things like that with animoji, and we'll have that integration obviously in iPhone 10. I don't foresee them bringing it to older phones, even though they could technically do it with the camera. I don't think they're going to do that. They will also supposedly be bringing Animoji into iPads and integrating Animoji into the FaceTime app itself. So if you're using FaceTime with someone, you could overlay Animoji. That's only going to be on these devices probably, so unfortunately it's not relevant to the 8 Plus, which is brand new, 8 and anything older. However, they're going to be bringing other features as well. One that's not so exciting is the Stock app. So if we search for Stock, so here's the Stock app. This one is okay. It's pretty basic, but I don't know a lot of people that use it. There's so many other Stock apps in the App Store. They're supposedly going to redesign that. What that means, we're not sure. As far as other features, they're going to be updating Do Not Disturb. So Do Not Disturb is this little moon here. Supposedly there's going to be more features. Can turn it on and off, and there's not a whole lot going on. If you're using Do Not Disturb, you can find it here like that, and we can turn it on and off and have these few different available options. There's not a whole lot in here. Just activate manually, auto reply for driving, things like that. So maybe it'll be more intelligent. Who knows what that means, that they're going to be updating that, but it's a minor feature improvement. They'll also be improving Siri, so if you're in Siri, it'll integrate better with search and probably be better overall. At least we can hope for that, since they're integrating it heavily with HomePod and all sorts of other things, and maybe they'll make the voice a little bit better too. The other thing they're going to be doing is new or more easy ways to import photos on an iPad. It's not terribly hard, but it's not very convenient or intuitive the current way you do it, so whatever that means. And then if you're using augmented reality games, I don't know that I have any on here, but if you're using an augmented reality game where it's using the camera, there's going to be ways to play multiplayer augmented reality games. So that could be kind of neat if we see some new software there. What that entails totally, we're not really sure. Now, some of the features, I guess, that are being pushed back or set back for the following year are going to be that multi-window support. And that's one thing I've wanted for a long time. So maybe you're in weather, but at the same time you want to check weather, or maybe you're flipping between weather or Amazon or the App Store. You could also be in Twitter, or you could be in any of these apps. Maybe you could be in YouTube watching a video. You're in here watching a video, and then half of the screen is the video, the other half is something else, just like Android does and just like the iPad does. Supposedly that's being pushed back and also multi-window apps such as tabs like Safari. So you could have apps maybe like Tweetbot with multiple tabs in it for different user accounts. Those sorts of integrations, I guess, are being pushed back. We'll have to see for sure. Also, updates for the Apple Pencil if you're using the Pencil, and also different abilities with its interface, whatever that really means. It's hard to say at this point. And then within email, this is actually AirMail. I've been testing out a bunch of different apps, so that's why it doesn't look normal from what I'm normally used to using or usually using. Within the stock mail app, there'll supposedly be ways to mute people within threads. So maybe you've got a couple threads, some people you don't want to talk to anymore, you could mute them. The good thing about all of this change is that we're going to be able to speed up not only current devices with stutter and slowness, but we'll be able to go back to maybe an iPhone 6 Plus or a 7 Plus or any of those, speed up the overall usage of it completely, and hopefully it'll be more efficient, less buggy, and just better overall. Apple's really pushed really hard to get features into the phones and really let go the quality of their software, which they were so heavily known for. They used to make fun of people like Microsoft for having bugs and viruses, and now their software is kind of on par with that. And instead of refining it, they've let Android sneak up with things like the Pixel 2 XL with very stable, very refined software. So it's pretty sad when you can say that Apple isn't the most bug-free or reliable software out there right now. I think this is a welcome change. While new features are always nice, apps can do a lot of things too. I would definitely like to be able to change between stock browsers and things more easily and more easily integrate things within the OS, but who knows what other things we'll see. It's hard to say at this point what they're going to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you like the 2-year cycle idea where it's more stable, or would you rather just have more features and deal with bugs? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.